Hi everyone, Matthew here at AAWeatherWatch, taking a look at the weather now through the course of the coming weekend, Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th of May. The weather has now indeed changed towards something more unsettled after a number of weeks of dry weather, and generally the coming weekend will produce further spells of rain and showers at times, and there is expected to be some locally heavy rain, some persistent heavy rain within the short term across some central areas of the country through the rest of Friday and overnight into Saturday, something which I will discuss very shortly. As satellite imagery highlights, high pressure, which was bringing the fine and settled conditions over the last several days to a couple of weeks now really, has declined, and we see low pressure areas within the North Atlantic and across the British Isles in general. There is one area of low pressure just to the south and southeast of the country at the moment in association with this region of cloud, and it is this low pressure which will become slow moving across the country, bringing a region of heavy and persistent rain through some central areas again through the rest of the day. There is now another weather system approaching from the west and southwest, this region of cloud here, and again this will essentially maintain further unsettled conditions through the rest of the weekend. Just taking a quick look at latest rainfall radar imagery, just highlighting those outbreaks of rain and showers which are now beginning to develop. Unfortunately, there does seem to be a problem with the radar network across the southwest, but obviously just ignoring that for the time being, and you can see outbreaks of rain and showers becoming more widespread across northern and eastern areas of the country, and these outbreaks of rain and showers will become increasingly widespread and then slow moving across some central areas of the country within this region here through the rest of Friday and into the overnight period. And it is across this central area where some locally large rainfall totals will develop through the rest of the day. So moving on and taking a look at the weather charts, and again just focusing on the short term for the time being, again with regards to this risk of some heavy rainfall over the next 12 to 24 hours or so, and it is associated with this area of low pressure. Obviously this is Friday's weather chart, and this weather system here will become slow moving across the country, so again particularly through central areas, and some locally heavy rainfall is possible through the rest of Friday. Just taking a look at the expected rainfall radar and the expected rainfall chart through the next 12 to 24 hours or so, and as you can see just highlighting the central swathe of the country which could see some persistent and heavy rain again through into the early hours of Saturday. Some central areas may well see up to 20 to 30 millimetres of rainfall, perhaps even 40 millimetres locally through the next 12 to 24 hours, so certainly something to be aware of through the rest of Friday and into Friday evening. So back to the weather charts now and taking a look at Saturday's weather, and it will be a wet start across the north of the country in association with the wet weather through the rest of Friday. That is associated with this weather system here, so particularly across Ulster, outbreaks of rain and showers are expected early on Saturday. And then briefly for a time there will be a little window of drier and brighter weather across most of the country through Saturday morning, particularly late Saturday morning. However, as you can see, approaching from the west is another weather system, and this will move north and eastwards across many areas through the course of Saturday afternoon. So essentially, after this little window of drier weather through the Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon will essentially bring a risk of rain and showers north and eastwards across many areas. There will be a little bit of drier and brighter weather in between at times, but essentially it will be wet for most areas at times through the course of Saturday afternoon, and some of the showers could be locally heavy as well. We move into Sunday, and essentially it is a day of sunshine and showers on Sunday. A relatively dry start, some brighter sunny spells first thing on Sunday morning if you're up and about quite early, but thereafter again sunshine and showers will begin to develop. And then later on in the day, approaching from the southwest, is a more pronounced weather system, and this will bring wet and windy weather from the southwest spreading across many areas late on Sunday and overnight into Sunday. And just quickly looking at Monday's weather chart, just to follow on from that, as a result it will be a particularly unsettled start to next week. Wet and windy weather spreading northwards again on late Sunday, overnight on Sunday night and through into Monday, and this essentially highlights and emphasises this change now towards more unsettled conditions. Let's take a look at the temperatures through the course of the coming weekend, and rest of Friday temperatures quite widely 14, 15 or 16 degrees Celsius, so relatively warm despite obviously the developing unsettled conditions. A particularly mild night tonight across many areas beneath cloudy and wet conditions, lows around about 7 or 8 degrees Celsius. Through into Saturday, and temperatures again generally near to average for the time of year, highs in the region around about 13 to 16 degrees Celsius. Another relatively mild night on Saturday night through into Sunday as well. And then temperatures probably a little bit down on Sunday, Highs in the region around about 11, 12 or 13 degrees Celsius, but still pleasant enough in some sunshine in between the sunshine and showers. So let's finalise that in our weekend weather summary. Clearly a change in emphasis after the last couple of weeks worth, if not more, of dry weather, with far more unsettled conditions dominating. So Saturday the 13th, it will be a wet start across Ulster, in particular across the north of the country, but then there will be a little window of drier and brighter weather for a time. However, as the rest of Saturday progresses, showers or longer spells of rain will then develop from the southwest, perhaps some of the showers locally heavy through the afternoon, but overall still a mild day, if not relatively warm, particularly where any sunshine does develop. Through into Sunday, and it will be a mainly dry start to the day with some brighter sunny spells, but then a mixture of sunshine and showers developing as the day progresses. These perhaps locally heavy around the middle of the day, and then towards the end of the afternoon, and then more particularly into the evening, into Sunday evening and overnight into Monday. Wet and windy weather will then spread northwards across all areas to end the weekend and move into the start of next week. So that's all the details for the forthcoming weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Obviously, despite the change in the weather, we hope you have a great weekend, and I will be back with you early next week taking a look at next week's weather.